있었는데 화장실 갔는지 모르겠어요. 보험사 안에 있더라고요.
오면은
일단 이거
chasing down the men who left 20 minutes before you. I want them to hear you coming for them. Are you ready? Yeah! Louder now, are you ready? Alright! Turn to the athletes next to you. Wish them good luck for the race. High five, fist bump. Let's get you racing.
You can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answered to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I've been making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Do the system right, be a slave. I've been doing shit my way. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Passing the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step. creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you wanna for me, be ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I can take this crap from seeing to believing. Got a peaceful blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite, they feeling. I can tear you apart, oh, I can go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in feelings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself if I grind on kneeling. Got much for change, I just love the feeling. No, I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything worth doing is a tough climb. 'Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by the night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll still be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by the night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll still be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, be ready for a demon. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is another swing. Cause I got through the night like that pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. You just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. They wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you come up on me, hope you ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crap from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. No, I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything worth doing is a tough climb. 'Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
가자, 끝까지 가자!
그렇대요.
점수부터 50까지 올라가고
제주도가 아니라서 이렇구나. 그래서 동백이 오잖아. 여긴 이래? 원래 서울 사람한테 언니가 서울 사람 아니야? 원래 이래?
원 시작. 자 당겨보겠습니다. 쭉쭉. 자 8초 8을 넘을 것인가 8초 8 안쪽으로 들어올 것인가. 자 과연 그만. 6초 6초.
하이록스